everyone, I'm Cary. I'm an SLP, and today we will be doing a practice question from TrueLearn's SLP SmartBank. I'm going to read the question and answers, and I'm going to go through the thought process, and we'll pick an answer together. Okay, so this question that we have says, an SLP is completing the SOAP note for a session with an adult patient who experienced a right hemisphere cerebrovascular accident. Throughout the session, the patient used extensive profanity and expressed frustration about how difficult therapy is for him. What section of the SOAP note would the SLP use to document these observations? So we have A, which is S, which stands for the subjective, B, which is O, the objective, C, which is A, the analysis, and D, which is P, and that's like the plan or the action plan. Being that this patient used extensive profanity and expressed frustration about how difficult therapy is for him, he's basically talking about how he feels about the situation that he's currently in, just expressing all of his emotions. So going back to when we're taught what the SOAP note stands for and typically what we write in each section, we know that the subjective, the S in SOAP, stands for how the patient is feeling. So typically, like you would write, oh, patient came in today, was feeling upset about this given situation. B is the objective. So there you would write like the goals and the target for the session and things that you worked on. C is the analysis. So you would write like the data of what the goals you were targeting had. And then D is P for plan. So you would write like what are the action steps for the next session and whether, you're going to continue the course of treatment that you have for the client. So for this answer, I would pick A, which is S for the subjective, because the patient did use profanity and express frustration about how difficult therapy is for him. So now we're going to go ahead and then review, and we got it right. So TrueLearn is great because it gives you an explanation and it goes over the question. So it says here, the subjective S portion of the SOAP note would be the appropriate section for recording statements and behaviors of the patient. Common observations include the patient's level of participation, level of alertness, attention, possible signs of illness or fatigue, distractibility, and statements or comments made by the patient. And then it also goes over each answer. So it pretty much helps in educating you as to why this answer is this. And you can take notes. Typically for me, when I was in the process of studying for the praxis, I would have my notebook and I would take notes on stuff that I didn't understand. So for example, if this was a question that I didn't understand, I would write all of these things down just so that I have it for reference for later on. But then for the answer that I got right, I would go ahead and write this on like a little index card and study it, flip it over, kind of review it here and there every so often. And then it also has references and it gives you the type of topics and whatnot. Thank you so much for tuning in.